Novel challenges. Good games have that 80% failure rate to inspire you to keep working, but the office doesn't like failure. Zero failure means zero fun, and there's so much busy work that offers no challenge at all. We crave ease, but stimulation is what really makes us happy. Therefore, to make work fun, add challenges. If your game is winnable, if you have control, if it challenges you without being overwhelming, you'll enjoy it more. Goals. You can't get what you really want until you take the time to decide what you want. Feedback. Research shows that the most motivating thing is progress in meaningful work. If your goal is a raise or a promotion, seek feedback. Communicate with your boss on a consistent basis and see how you're doing. Games become addictive. If you craft your work into one, you can find success and happiness at the same time with a positive feedback loop. Whether it's optimism, meaning, or a simple game, the story in your head is always the answer to perseverance. Everything we do in life is a trade-off. Choosing to do one thing means not doing something else. Once you've found something you're passionate about, quitting secondary things can be an advantage because it frees up time to do that number one thing. Whenever you wish you had more time, more money, etc., strategic quitting is the answer. Time does not equal money because we can get more money. So what's the first step? Know your number one priority. Then start quitting stuff that isn't as important and see what happens. Research shows that when we choose to quit pursuing unattainable goals, we're happier, less stressed, and get sick less often. Grit can't exist without quit. Studying over 1,000 subjects, Wiseman found that lucky people maximize opportunities. The study showed they are more open to new experiences, more extroverted, and less neurotic. They listen to their hunches. Most of all, Wiseman says, lucky people just try stuff. So simply doing more means greater happiness when we're older, and cooler stories for the grandkids. So keep trying new things. It makes you luckier. You can fail and quit and learn. In fact, that's the only way you can learn. Try things. Quit what fails. Then apply grit. If you don't know what to be gritty at yet, you need to try lots of things, knowing you'll quit most of them to find the answer. Once you discover your focus, devote 5 to 10% of your time to little experiments to make sure you keep learning and growing. People who switch jobs more frequently early in their careers tend to have higher wages and incomes in their prime working years. Job hopping is actually correlated with higher incomes because people have found better matches, their true calling. Getting lots of different ideas crashing together turns out to be one of the keys to creativity. Spending 5% of your time trying new things, knowing you will quit most of them, can lead to great opportunities. If dreaming is so bad, why do we do it? Because it's the mental equivalent of getting drunk. It feels really right now, but doesn't lead to good things later. Now, dreaming isn't inherently bad, but it's just the first step. Next comes facing that awful buzzkill called reality and its ever-present obstacles. What's the worst that could happen? By considering the awful possibilities, you make sure you're ready for them. WOOP, wish, outcome, obstacle, plan, is applicable to most any of your goals, from career to relationships to exercise and weight loss. In her research, Ottingen found that mental contrasting gives a motivational boost when your goal is something you can achieve, but it doesn't when your goal is outside the realm of possibility. It's like a personal litmus test for feasibility. WOOP can tell you what needs grit and help to muster the drive to soldier on. But it can also tell you what to quit and help you handle that transition less painfully. When the story you tell yourself says, "This is worth it," you will work harder and stick through the greatest challenges. For an extra boost, try writing your story down. Research shows it can make you 11% happier with your life. You need winnable games, novel challenges, goals, and feedback to feel engaged in whatever it is you do. Reframing problems as game-like challenges increases resilience and reduces stress. Remember, it's your game. Don't wait for others to make your job or your life exciting. Stop being Batman. Stop trying to be perfect at everything. So you need to get out there and try more stuff. Stories and limits, that's what grit and quit come down to. Research pretty consistently shows extroverts make more money. The authors of the study speculate that increased drinking leads to increased social capital, so you're probably out bonding with others and making connections. Research shows that you don't actually need to know more to be seen as a leader. Meanwhile, other studies show that those who initially act shy in groups are perceived as less intelligent. As Pfeffer pointed out, to get ahead, you need to self-promote. One study found multi-level analysis showed that networking is related to concurrent salary and that it is related to the growth rate of salary over time. Extroverts make more money, get more promotions, are more likely to become leaders, find new jobs faster, and are both luckier and happier. You see, the superpower of introverts is that they are far more likely to become experts in their field. Whether an introvert or an extrovert is the better leader depends on whom they are leading. As you saw in the research, whether you're looking for a legit job or trying to sell kilos of cocaine, having a network is something you need. When we collaborate, including in healthy rivalries, the gains can be exponential. But when we don't communicate, we can end up not only missing those benefits, but also getting our efforts jammed by our friends. What's Panda's secret to networking? Be a friend. Yeah, it's that simple. Networking isn't just a skill anybody can learn. It's a skill you already know. Make friends. In Adam Grant's terminology, Panda is a giver. Do not be transactional about networking. Do not offer something because you want something in return. Instead, show a genuine interest in something you and the other person have in common. It's all about the perspective you take going in. Networking is about a personal relationship. This is the secret to our success as a species. It's also the secret to your success as an individual. Friendship. There's no need to be afraid of networking. The truth is, we often underestimate by as much as 50% how much others are willing to help us when asked. Remember, the rule of thumb is simple when making friends. Be socially optimistic. Assume other people will like you, and they probably will. Ask them questions and listen. You're likely to hear something you can connect over. Neuroscientist Diana Tammer found that your brain gets more pleasure from you talking about yourself than it does from food or money. This is why you should stop doing it and let others do it as much as possible around you. Seek someone else's thoughts and opinions without judging them. Stop thinking about what you're going to say next and focus on what they're saying right now. Research shows we like compliments more than sex or money. Asking for advice, however, can really help others warm to you. Offer to help people. There's plenty of research showing that trying to make others in your network happy makes the happiness come back to you. Research shows that one of the quickest and easiest ways to boost your network isn't to pass your business card out on street corners. It's just to reconnect with old friends. Reaching out to these super friends and saying, "Whom do you know that I should meet?" will produce disproportionate results. Making time is the most fundamental way to show someone is important to you and that you care. So allocate an amount in advance to make sure networking goes from something you'd like to do to something that actually gets done. Research shows that the best teams are a mix of old friends and new blood, and that's also an advantage in networking. Research also shows that being a part of a number of social groups versus just one increases your resilience and helps you to overcome stress. If you don't know of any awesome groups like these, the easy solution is to start one and be the hub of your network. What makes close friendships endure is simply staying in touch every 2 weeks. By just doing favors, he helps people out and maintains relationships naturally at the same time. And what about forming friendships with co-workers? This is another excellent idea. Those who bridge relatively disconnected pockets of a network are promoted earlier and are more mobile in their careers because they hear about opportunities before others do. The workers least likely to develop workplace friendships were also the least likely to get promoted. If you're a leader at your organization, it's very important you go out of your way to foster good relationships between your employees. And having few friends is more dangerous than obesity and is the equivalent health risk of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We all need mentors to succeed. It's better to let others make those mistakes and you can learn from them. Great mentors and great teachers help you learn faster. Mentors make learning fun. They add a relationship to the stress and help you overcome the frustration while pushing you to be your best. It's having a coach or teacher who really makes something exciting to be involved in that leads you to often put in the practice necessary to become an expert at it. Yeah, formal mentoring made a small improvement, but the real results came from informal mentors, the kind you find on your own. If you're doing everything you can to advance your career, getting a mentor won't be too hard. Talented, resourceful self-starters are rare. If people don't notice, you're doing something wrong. Study them. No, really, study them. And once they do get to know you, that research pays off, because it's very good for you if they think you're smarter than the average bear. Asking great questions is a perfect way to build a relationship. But the key word here is great questions. Never ask a mentor a question Google can easily answer for you. Follow up. Early on, don't mention the M word, mentor. You're trying to start a relationship, not close a sale. You are easily forgotten by busy people. Remember that. The key then is to find ways to stay relevant and fresh. If they engage, you can follow up with, I did my homework and figured really impressive next steps would be fill in the blank, but I'd love your insight. Do you think well thought out strategy 1 or well thought out strategy 2 is better? You want these interactions to become conversational back and forths, not once-offs. In the end, your goal and your mentor's goals should be aligned to make you awesome. But there's a secondary goal here too, to make them look good. And how do you know who is a great mentor? By the success of their students, of course. Maybe you find a mentor who really helps you improve your skills, but they're clueless when it comes to navigating office politics. This is very common and not a problem. The solution? Get a second mentor. With many mentors on which to base their personal growth, talented youths are less likely to follow the suicidal path toward mere replication. Mentoring a young person is 4 times more predictive of happiness than your health or how much money you make. Explaining is almost always veiled dominance. You're not trying to educate, you're still trying to win. The subtext is, here's why I am right and you are wrong. And that is exactly what the other side will hear, no matter what you say. Research from neuroscience confirms this. Empathy. Domestic disputes and suicidal individuals don't respond well to people who sound like salesmen. Being sincere and focusing on emotions, however, leads to effective resolutions. We have a cheeseburger, we feel better, and we're more likely to be in the right mood to close a deal. Emotions get people to change their behavior. Happy people are better negotiators. When people feel positive about the deal-making process, they're more likely to close a deal and both parties are happier with the results. And when we joke around like friends do, it builds trust. Just listening and acknowledging can make a huge difference.